All right. I think we're good to go ahead and start here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. I'm not Professor, but you can call me Nap. And welcome on in. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday so far. Hello, historian, hopeful. Hope I saw you in saw you did a little hello there earlier. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. And yeah, halfway through the week. It feels weird because I technically haven't streamed. It wasn't that long ago since I last streamed. Because I streamed on Monday this week because I was in New York City on Sunday. So it does feel kind of weird streaming like that, that close together. But yeah, welcome on in, everybody. I hope we're ready for some more history genealogy research because we're going to be going through today what is the last photo in the collection of photos, of individual photos that I have. That I bought on my last like kind of antique store adventure, buying all these. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing today. I don't really have much else to talk about right now because not much has really happened in the meantime, especially related to like stream and stuff. I will say though, I think I mentioned this on Monday. I am working on right now a new YouTube short. So look forward to that. Probably either Saturday or Sunday coming out. I'm not entirely sure. It depends on how busy I am this weekend. But I don't know how busy I'm going to be because it's supposed to be freezing cold on the East Coast this next week. Or this weekend specifically. It's going to be so cold. And I hate it so much. Living on the East Coast has made me realize I am not built for cold weather. I don't like being cold. I would much rather be hot. I prefer summer over winter, like 90% of the time. I will admit snow can be pretty sometimes, but the thing with snow is that like it's only pretty for like a day. And then like after that, it either gets like gross and like dirty, or you have to like, throw down ice, or not ice, salt, or you have to like clean off your car, like brush off your car, or shovel your driveway and stuff like that, and it just becomes a mess. And I'm personally not a fan. But at the same time though, I do like on the East Coast how we actually do have seasons, especially fall, because I do love fall. Fall is my favorite time of year by far. Because it's not as hot as summer. Things start to get cooler. You can still do stuff outside, and you still have longer days. That's the other thing I hate about winter is how short the days are, and a little bit amount of sunlight. Because despite being a streamer and a PNG tuber, I do actually like to touch grass. I do like going outside and doing things. So I do sometimes. I need be able to go outside, especially because not so much right now, but like when like winter really first, like when like the longest day of the year happens, like around that time in like end of December, it works out where like I'm driving to work and I get to work like right at sunrise, and then I work inside all day in a room with no windows, so I see no like sunlight or anything, and then I come out, I leave work, and it's sunset. And it's just, after a while, it just gets so just degrading and depressing. but hey, at least by like March, it normally, like calms down. We're already almost done with January, which is actually kind of crazy that that January is almost over already. But before we get directly into our research stream today, I do actually want to share some stuff related to what we did on Monday. Let me go ahead and real quick just kind of make myself smaller. Okay. So if you were not here on Monday, this is the photo that we researched. This photo, which on the back of it, all that it said was E.J. Lake, Harvard, 1992. And after it actually was very quickly into the into the stream that we discovered that that this guy was going to be, this is a college photo of him. He was going to be the governor of Connecticut. And I bought this at a random antique store in California. And it somehow ended up there. And I am now the proud owner of a piece of Connecticut history, I guess. Because it's a young photo of one of their governors. Which is just crazy to me that, like, you can be the governor of, like, a state, and your photos can, like, still just end up in random places. But the origin of this photo, I actually do have some new developments, because after stream on Monday, I did do a little bit more research, just to see if I could find other photos of him, or if there are any other information, or any other places that talk about him, or if I could just find a copy of this photo anywhere else. And I found a few things. I want to show them real quick right now. Hold on, let me turn that off real quick. So, let's see. Here we go. Okay. This is the first thing that I found. This is a book that has been sort of, kind of, not digitized, transcribed. It's been transcribed into an ebook through the Gutenberg project. This is a book called American Football by Walter Camp that was written in 1891. So right in the middle of our guy Everett Lake being in college at Harvard. And it turns out his picture is in here. You can see here Everett J. Lake right here. And there he is while he was at Harvard. And you can tell that, I mean, face-wise, it's... Hold on. Wait, let me put this... Yeah, you can tell, you can really tell that that's 100% him. Same exact face and everything. But unfortunately, this book doesn't mention anything specifically about him. Because I tried doing like a search. This is the only, it only had, because it has pictures of a bunch of other players from like all over the country in various different colleges, mostly Yale and Harvard, but it doesn't like talk about them in like the actual like book itself. It just talks about like, it just basically talks about like the rules and like the what each like descriptions of like each position and what they do and everything, with just random photos of football players just kind of thrown about, and he is one of them, which again I think shows how popular he was at the time if he's in this book. Hey, Onion Helmet, yes, this actually is Gutenberg. This actually is Gutenberg. This is a book from 1891 called American Football that's been sort of transcribed with Gutenberg. And so that was the first thing that I found, which was pretty cool. And then something else that I found, that I just found this with like a random Google search, just Everett Lake, and then a little ways down, I discovered this photo, which might be one of my new like favorite things ever. It's this photo, which if you read down here, if you can read it, it says Marshall Newell, Harvard, played right tackle in 90, 91, 92, and 93. And then Everett G. Lake which I think is just a mistake because it's Everett J. Lake, in which G and J are similar, so they probably just screwed up there. Harvard, 92. Played halfback in 90, 91, and 92. And just look at the photo of these two guys. Look at them. There's a couple of pals. I just love it. Hold on, let me put the... We get a little bit bigger. There we go. Look at them. I don't know, there's just something about this that, like, just makes me really happy. That even though this is, like, from 130 years ago, guys were still being dudes. Just a couple of guys, just a couple of pals hanging out, taking funny photos with each other, messing around. It shows that we really haven't changed. People have always been people. And it just makes me really happy. Just another example of that. Found here. And unfortunately, though, I don't know where this is from. I mean, okay, this picture was uploaded on this website called Crazilla, which is like a art sharing, like, kind of like a Flickr or like a Getty Images kind of thing for, like, or Wikimedia, where you can, like, download and everything. But it says source flickr.com, but when you click on this link, it doesn't go anywhere. The link doesn't work. It doesn't exist anymore. So I have no idea where exactly this is from. Because it looks like it's in a book somewhere. It's in some book. Maybe it's a Harvard book or something like that, or a yearbook. But yeah, I have no idea what the source of this picture is. But it's really cute. I just love it. And then, okay, so now this is the next big thing that I found, which was the biggest shock to me, is that I actually found another copy of the original photo. So I found another copy of this photo somewhere else online. But you're probably never going to guess where and how I found it. So, here it is. I found it here. So you can see here, this is the exact same photo on eBay. And, yeah. You know how much I bought this photo for? I bought this photo for $2.50. Yeah, $399. $400 basically. $400 is what they're asking for this photo. And this account, Pre-War Sports. So I looked at their account a little bit more, and they specialize in, like, you can see them all up here. All these different Harvard, like, football like photos and stuff like that for, like, old, like, you know, football or baseball or basketball players. Pre-war, I'm assuming, like, pre-World War One or World War II possibly. But yeah, this is, and I will admit his is in better condition than mine. Mine is like, compared to, like, hold on, let me pull up mine again. Oh, right, yes, 5 cent savings, yes, but I don't know if this includes shipping. But yeah, if we compare mine has, like, you can see on, like, the bottom, like, around the edges is, like, you know, Massachusetts, where it says, like, Mass, like, Cambridge, Mass down there. There's some more, like slight tears and wrinklings. And a lot more, like, kind of spots and stains around, like, kind of the edge of, like, his body and everything in his head around the edges. So his is in better condition, but it's insane that he's trying to sell this for 400. I think that is number of reviews. Yeah, I think That's reviews, I'm pretty sure, or the number of things sold. Because this is his thing. Like, he sells like pre-war sports. Like, he sells like stuff like this. But yeah, but the thing is though, yes, he is asking for $400 for this. He is asking for $400 for this, but this post has been up since like 2022. It's been up for almost 4 years, so it's not it's not like anybody else has, and I can't find anybody else selling one of these either. So it's like, yes, he's putting it at that price, but that's because I think he's the only person who's trying to sell this, or like thinks that he has one. I'm in the wrong industry. I mean, I don't know, because I mean, like, people do this as careers, you know? People may have eBay stores for various things. Where they get this stuff, who knows? But okay. And then also something else I wanted to say is that I have a theory now. Oh yeah, you saw the $25,000. Yeah, yeah, I saw that too. Hannes Wagner pre T206 pose baseball cabinet photo. RC rookie card MLB. Wow. Yeah, that is insane. Again, you know, sports people like their sports stuff. Yeah, exactly. What a bargain. I mean, just look up here. This is another Harvard football one for $800. Bates College football, $350. Again, who knows if like he's actually going to sell any of these things? Because this has been up for 2 years. So anyway, like I was saying that, what I think is, this is my new theory, is that the version that I have, because it's the exact same photo, it is the exact same photo from the same photographer and everything. My personal theory is that these were, and because it's on a site like this, or an account like this, these pictures were likely were promotional. Like, kind of like a very early version of, like, sports, like, trading cards. That's the only thing that I can think of. Because we know this guy was popular. We know Everett Lake was popular, as we found in our research. Yeah. Sorry, kids. Daddy's gonna have use the housing and college fund to buy a photograph. I mean, hey, some people do it. I mean, people do this for, like, you know, what is it, like the holographic Charizard, like first edition, in like a 10 PSA rating or something like that, like, or were the Magic the Gathering cards and stuff like that. People, you know, people have their things that they're into. I wrote an article about the history of trading cards, and during the research, I saw a lot of old cards and photos going for crazy prices like that. Yeah, because I didn't realize it, like, sports cards, like, because when I think of, like, sports trading cards, I think of, like, you know, from, like, 20th century onward. I don't even think about, like, pre-1900, that there would be any type of, you know, because there wasn't, like, a super organized league, really, back then. It was mostly just college stuff, like this. So, and I didn't know that they went this hard with, you know, selling this kind of stuff. So yeah, so yes, yeah, the random Dutch man spending a year's harvest on buying a tulip with pretty colors. Exactly, yeah. Good old tulip prices back in the day. Yeah, people have always been, you know, buying crazy stuff that are seen as rare, you know. So yeah, so remember how I said I was going to maybe donate this to a museum? I'm now instead going to put this on eBay myself, and I will be selling this card, or this picture, for a bargain of $390. So if anybody If anybody wants to reach out and make an offer, maybe bargain a little bit, I'll go as low as 350. And that money will go towards paying for my Ancestry.com membership. Because that's how goddamn expensive it is. But yeah, so this was crazy discovering this. That somebody is trying to sell it. And also, he says, wait, hold on, in the description, where is it? Yeah, item specifics. Used original vintage photograph, see scan for condition. See, this says 1939, which I don't know why that says 1939, unless it's like a reprint. But this says down here, vintage 1891 Pack Brothers Studio cabinet card of Harvard football All-American Everett Lake. Condition and quality are both outstanding. This is the only image we have ever handled. So yeah, so like it's this line right here. This is his only image we have ever handled. Shows how this is apparently rare. But apparently you can also just go to an antique store in California and buy it for $2.50. Yeah, I did do basically a Google image search just to find. That's how I found all of these. That's how I found all of these things. Oh, that's why. And this is also why they have 11,000. Okay, they have 11,000 reviews. They've been doing this since 2000, September of 2000, basically back when eBay started. That's like brand new. So that's why they have so many reviews. We are the constant adding new inventory and have the finest selection of pre-World War II sports memorabilia. Okay, so pre-World War II is their cutoff. But they don't do just sports stuff. I've also seen I saw movie stars photos and pictures and stuff like that. So it's not just that. But yeah, I don't think anybody's going to be buying this anytime soon. Or maybe here we go. I buy it, so that way I have two, and then I have control of the whole market. I basically get a monopoly on these things. That way I can say I have the only two in the world. Maybe that'll do it. But yeah, this has been crazy. This is by far, I think, the craziest. I think this is this is up there with one of the craziest, top 5 craziest discoveries we've made on these streams. Is this guy's story. But with that, we have to move on to what we're doing today. Let me go ahead and put this back. So today we are moving on to our last photo of hold on, of these collections of photos. We've done all the other ones except for that one on the bottom left there, which is what we're going to be doing today, which is a picture of a girl standing in the snow. And as we can see here on the back, it says that her name is Margaret Elizabeth Schultz, Schulz, and it looks like it says Nordland, Washington, February 1927. So we have a full name, which is great, first, middle, and last name, which is going to be very, very helpful in figuring this out. And we also have a date, which is great too, February 1927. So, judging by the photo, I mean, it's not the clearest photo. It's not the clearest photo, so it's a little hard to say exactly how old she is. If I had to guess, probably like kind of preteen, maybe like 10 to 13, kind of in that range. So she was likely born in the 19 teens. So we're going to look for an Margaret Elizabeth Schultz born in the 19 teens. This looks like a photo from Soviet Caucasia. I mean, kind of, yeah. Now, it does on the back here say Nordland. I'm pretty sure that says Nordland, Washington. However, the only thing, there is a possibility that that could just be where this photo was taken. That does not necessarily mean that's where they live. So that's something we have to keep in mind with this as we're working on this. Is that there is a possibility that she's not necessarily from... She could be from Washington, because it is 1927, so they're likely not traveling too far for fun or travel, especially in wintertime. So I think what we'll do is we'll start with just the state of Washington and see if we find anything. And go from there. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and start our research. So Margaret, Elizabeth, then Scholes. Don't know exactly a birth year. I'm just gonna put Washington. And then 1927. And let's just go for it. Okay. Whoa, wait a second. Hold on. What is this one? Okay, no, I don't think this is our person. It's crazy that they have the same name, though. And they're roughly the age that they would be. And this death, March 3rd, 1927, is like a week before that photo. Okay, hold on. 1 second. I need to grab the actual photo. I'm also looking at it closer, and it looks like the back, it actually could be Woodland, Washington. Hold on. Let me look up where that is real quick. Okay. So there is... Okay, here we go. So there is a Woodland, Washington. It's like right by Portland and right on the border of Washington and Oregon. Yeah, so it's not... So that means she also could be from Oregon if it's that close to the border. Um, Now there is also this Margaret Elizabeth Schultz. Uh, Can we apply that? Maybe narrow it down some. I mean, it doesn't really help much. Let's see. Let's just narrow it down to... Okay, let's narrow it down to, yeah, state and adjacent states. I don't think she would be in city directory because she looks like a kid in this photo. Okay. What about... Okay, census records. Let's do 1920. Let's see. There's a few... There's Elizabeth Schultz. And the thing is, though, is if Schultz is her maiden name... Let's try this one. Okay. This could be her. Margaret. Female. Age 4. Born in Washington. Okay, hold on. If we go back to here, are there other things? Okay, no. Margaret Hedwig. Okay, so this is not the right Margaret. Because we know her middle name is Elizabeth. So this is not her. What about this one? Just to see. Emily Schultz. Okay. She's 33, though, in 1920, which means in this photo she'd have to be 40, which I don't think that's a 40-year-old. I don't think that's a 40-year-old. Okay, so I don't think it's this one, then. Okay, what about this one? Age 10, okay. Oh, Margaret E. Eileen. So close, but not exactly right. Let's see, let's try this one. Age 27. Agnes, no. It's not that one. Yeah, none of these are really 100% right. Okay, I'm gonna try something else. I'm gonna go to find a grave next. And I'm gonna hope... Okay, so Margaret... I'll just put E. I mean, it's likely that Schultz is not her full name. And then we're going to put, okay, born before 19... I'm going to say 1925. We don't know exact year. I'm not going to put location because they could be anywhere. Okay. Okay, New York, New Jersey. Illinois. Okay, not 1902. Okay, wait, there's this one too. This one is this one, isn't it? One of these days I'm waiting for someone to say, hey, that's my grandma to one of the photos. That would be absolutely insane. I would lose my mind if that happened on stream. That would be absolutely insane. Neil. Okay, no, not this one. Wait, hold on. Let me... One more thing. Year died. It had to be after 1926. Just narrow it down a little bit more. Okay, no, not this one, because that's too late to be born. That's 3 years old, and that's not a... The girl in the photo isn't 3 years old. Could be that one. Would be... Oh, no, that's Australia. Never mind. That can't... It's not the Australia one. Baltimore City... Ellen. No. Oh, wait, no, wait, hold on. We get rid of that. It's... Child of John Schultz. Margaret Elizabeth Schultz. This is throwing me off, because this is the only one we found that is the exact name. But why would... And I really don't want it to be this one, because it's a really depressing story if that is the case. Okay. I think maybe... We might have to... Uh... 1927. It says Michigan, but... Oh, whoops. Forgot to... Okay, nothing. But... It says daughter of John Schultz? Oh, okay. What is this? Okay, this is a thing for her death. Elizabeth Schultz, 9, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. John Schultz. 118 Elm Street. Died Thursday at the home. Just born February 1928. Remember St. John's at school and church. Surviving of her parents, 4 brothers, and 3 sisters. Her grandmother and her grandfather. Okay. Hold on. About... To patio cellar. Owner Schultz. Okay, no, I don't think this is... Oh, wait, I forgot to sort by oldest first. What I'm hoping for is that there's a thing of like, oh, they went on a trip to Washington. Okay, no, that's garage. Because if we can find that, that can 100% confirm. 4 of your friends celebrate her birthday, games and unattractive. Okay, no, that's not. Okay, this is the same. Mrs. John F. Schultz, a sister, was not able to go because of illness in her family. Um. Yeah. Okay, that's a garage rental thing. It's. Okay, what if I change it to Washington instead? Or what about just Margaret Schultz? Oh. Hold on. Margaret Eileen Schultz. How old is she? Because I can't. Is that. I don't think that really. I don't know if that looks like her. I don't think it does personally. And this person's from Tacoma. Where's Tacoma? Tacoma's way up north. I mean, they could have done a trip. That'd be a long trip, though, for 1927. Especially with no interstate or anything. Yeah, because that's the only thing. Oh god, wait, how did I... There we go. Jeez. I don't know how that happened there for a second. Yeah, that's... Very similar middle names. But I don't think that's her. What if I just do... Hold on, okay. What if I just do exact... Like, get rid of the date. Make it broad. And make these exact. How many Margaret Elizabeth Schultz are there? Oh, and maybe get rid of the 1927. Just get rid of this. And get rid of that. Oh, whoops, I'm still in the census records that way. Okay. Oh, okay, Oregon. Birth 1920. Who's this one? Hillsboro. means she would be 7. Where's Hillsborough? Oh, okay. This is a possible good sign. I think if we could find this is a good uh I think this is a good candidate right here. Right age, close by. Um uh, marriage record. Schultz, application 1946. Father Albert. Okay, that's the same person. I don't know if we go to her find a grave. Does it have a? If it has a photo, well, doesn't really have. Doesn't have a photo. Yeah, it's just the one photo. Oh wait, is this the right person? I don't know if this is the right person because that's not. Why would her father be last name be Travis? No, yeah, somebody screwed up and put the wrong person because this says the birth date is 1904 when it's clearly 1920. Somebody just put the wrong information there. Okay, so this is possibly a good candidate. This Margaret Schultz. Margaret Elizabeth Schultz. Let's see. How many are there? 500. Okay, maybe we narrow it down. There's a lot in Wisconsin. What are the Washington ones? No. Let's change it back to Oregon. Yeah, we got those two things. Okay. I think that's the only. I mean, there's this one, Elizabeth Margaret Schultz. And we do have ads starting soon. So I think as ads start to get I won't do any more like deep research, but I'll try to see if maybe we can like narrow down any other Margaret Elizabeths. Can I edit birth? I wish that they had it where you can like really narrow it down as like an option, kind of like how they do on Find a Grave, where you can say like, oh, before or after in the general search, but they really don't do that on Ancestry, unfortunately. Okay, while the ads are going, I'm gonna pull up Family Search and get that set up and see if we can maybe find anything on there. Let's see. Okay. Getting this set up. Let's say from 1900 to 1925 for the birth range. Let me get that set up. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, okay. See, how are the ads? Okay, ads are almost done. Oh my god. Okay, wait, I'm not gonna do anything more until the ads are done. But I think I might have found something here. Okay, ads are finishing up. Okay, so now that ads are done, I think I found something that I think helps prove that that the Margaret Elizabeth Schultz that we see in this record is the one in the photo. So I did a quick search on Family Search. So this is her, Margaret Elizabeth Schultz. Yeah, married to Percy Rake. We already did see that. Parent Albert Schultz and all that. And it doesn't look like they had any children, according to this. But look at this. Residence, events. Their residence in 1930? Woodland, Washington. There we go. I think that's it. I think that definitively kind of proves that we are looking at the right person. That this Margaret Elizabeth Schultz here is the same Margaret Elizabeth Schultz in the photo. So I say let's go. Now that I think we can definitively say that this is her, that we found her. That we have something that specifically ties her to the place mentioned in this photo. And 1930 does make sense considering that the photo on this one is listed as 1927. So around that same time. So let's go back to Ancestry real quick. So now we know, again, that this Margaret Elizabeth Schultz is the right one. And we actually have... The fact that we actually have her birth record is actually pretty crazy. Because most of the time, Ancestry isn't great with, like, finding birth records and marriage records compared to, like, Family Search. Okay, so this is where we're starting. From Washington County, born in Washington County in Oregon, city of Hillsborough, Washington County Hospital, Margaret Elizabeth Schultz. Albert Schultz is the father. Ella Turner. Is that Turner? It's a little hard to tell. It looks like Turner. They both were born in Portland, Oregon. Or no. They're living in Portland, Oregon. Birthplace, South Dakota. Birthplace, California. Occupation, farmer. Occupation, housewife. Number of children. Born at 5 p.m. on that day. So he's 30. Her father's 32. She's 20. Or her mother is 24. Okay. So that's a good place to start. Now, in terms of city directories, it doesn't look like there's a ton. I mean, she likely wouldn't show up in the 1921 because she was born in September of 1920. So the 1920 census already happened. Because they normally do it like in like late spring, early summer. But we do have a 1930 census here. Should be 10. Or yeah, 9 as it says here. Let's see. If she has the same parents, then we know it's her. Yep. Albert and Ella. So this is her. And it's a little hard to tell. They kind of screwed up the name there. So around 9 years old. Yeah, actually, no, she would be 9. Yeah, because her birthday's in September. A little hard to discern what her age is. She was born in California, Oregon, South Dakota, German and Swiss ancestors, and farmer. Employment, yes. Veteran, no. Does it say at the beginning if he owns the land? Rented. Okay, so he's not a landowner, so they're probably not the most wealthy out there. Okay, and then this 1940 census. 19. And yeah, still living with her parents. So this is her. Yep. Daughter, 19, 55, 42. Yep. This all matches. Working. Feed mixer. Dairy coop. Or dairy co-op. So a dairy farm. Income. $1,680 a month. Is that what that is? Or is that... No, that seems like... Is that it? I mean, by 1940, maybe that's about right. Do they... Okay, they live in... According to this, they live in Beaverton, Oregon. Lombard? Yeah, Lombard. But it doesn't say specifically where. And they are renting. But they're not living on a farm, according to this. Huh. Wait, hold on. In the 1931, does it say where they... Okay, yeah, 1931, yeah, it does say they lived in Woodland. Okay. Okay. So... we can go ahead and get rid of this and these ones, because we know it's not them. We know this isn't her. And yeah, we know this isn't her. Let's go back here. And there's a 1950 census after she's married at this point. So because she was born in 1920, there, you know, I think it said she died in 2003? Yeah, 2003. I mean, there was a possibility that, you know, she was still alive just a few years ago. But yeah, this is her. She's married, and it is... Oh, I did say that she was working. Born in Oregon. Grade school teacher. And her husband is a used car shop salesman. Used car dealer. Oh my god. That's so funny. He's the skeezy used car dealer. And her mother is still working, because it says here, okay, that, yeah, her mother-in-law. How old is she at this point? She's 55. Okay, so yeah, 55 you could still work. But she's working as a seamstress. And she's, okay, and she's widowed. So her father had passed away at this point. Uh, 1489 Elsie? Because this just says other places. It doesn't say specifically where. Just Washington County. Notes. Second house from Spencer LC. Yeah, so we don't know specifically where this is. Hold on. Here? Nope, that is on an island. Or is it LC, Oregon? Could be. But no, that's not the right county. Because it is in, according to this... This is still Washington County. So wait, hold on. 1489. Let's try searching with that. 1489 LC. LC Court, Salem, Oregon, Southwest. Chickasaw, Canada. I feel like these places are going to be more, yeah, on the coast. And also, who knows if it still exists anymore. Oop. Okay, I think that one's going to be a little... Maybe when we get more information, we can figure that out. All right, and then Margaret E. Schultz. This is her marriage record. 1946 is when they got married. Are there... Hold on, is there anything else here? Elizabeth. Let's see. We already saw the Find a Grave. Here, Oregon Death Index. City directories. Which city directory is this? 1955. Okay, Southwest LC, Portland, Oregon. 1955. Where is... There she is. Okay, at this point, 1955, he's now a buyer, City Lumber County or Company of Bridgeport. $13,890 Southwest LC. $13,890. Let's try that. 890. There's no LC. It could be possible that maybe the name changed. But I think they likely live in the... Maybe? I mean, this is the Portland City Directory, but is this actually Portland, or is this... Okay. Hold on. Are there any other things listed here? Any other city directories? Is this a different birth record, or is this the same one we already saw? This is the same one we already saw. I think just from a different source. We got some newspapers. Okay. Are there any other... Let's see if we can find any... Now that we know what her married name is, and we know her birth year, I want to see if we can find more city directories of her. Maybe we can get a better idea of where exactly she lived. Margaret Rake. Spouse's name. What was her spouse's name? Percy. Okay. Percy. And she was born 1920 in Oregon. And then, okay, then let's go directories and members lists. City and area directories. And let's do, okay, Oregon and Washington. Let's do Oregon first. Okay, this is a little bit later. Beaverton, Oregon, Portland, Oregon, 1992. 1993. A little... I think this just... Yeah. That doesn't really... I wanted something more like actually like this from the actual city directory. Let's change it to Washington, just in case maybe they did move to Washington at some point. No. And no. Okay. Okay, and then what if we... I am curious, like, because if she was a school teacher, I wonder... Maybe she might be in some records? None of those are... Okay, nope, none of those are what we want. And then what if we change it actually... Hold on, back to Schultz. Okay, hold on. Maybe this could be... Hold on. Okay, there's options of either Washington or Oregon. 1938 would be the year that she would graduate. I think this might be her. Beaverton High School. I think that has to be her. Unfortunately, she's wearing like a hat, so it's really kind of hard to see like most of her face in the original photo. So that could be her. Let me see what the... What are the Washington ones? Pierce... 1922, 1921. Where's Pierce, Washington? Actually, no, I don't think this is because it says residence 1918. Yeah, no, yeah, this one. These 1922, 1921s wouldn't be her because she would be just born during that time. Okay, so I'm pretty sure then that this is her. Okay. So I think... Yeah, because that's all we're going to get in terms of that, I think. 'Cause, yeah. I was hoping maybe we would get one of, like, her when she was a teacher. Oh, no, she'd be... By the time she's a teacher, she'd be Margaret Rake. Schoolless. Okay, yeah, no, none of them... None of those states are right. So she's not there. Okay. Let's see then what we can find in terms of newspapers. Now that we know... All right, Schultz. So let's do 1920 to 1930. And let's do Oregon first. Oh, okay, Washington. Specifically, we want... shorting that. Okay, oldest first is what I want. Clark, where is... Okay, Woodland... What county is Woodland in? Let me just check that real quick. Clark and Colitz. Okay. Okay, so the Clark one... This is Vancouver, Washington. Isn't Vancouver, Washington, like, up in... Hold on. Because these are all Vancouver. Where is Vancouver, Washington? Oh, it's down there. Okay, so actually, wait, that could be her. That could be her. Alright, let's start looking at these and see if any of them are her. Celebrates birthday. 11 little girls enjoyed the hospitality of Virginia Hornburg, where they were entertained yesterday afternoon celebrating her 8th birthday. Bright candles placed in favor, March. Pretty birthday cake. Assisted. Little guests included. I mean... She'd be like less than a few months old at this point, so I don't know if this is... I don't know if this is right. I mean, what does this one say? 1921. Celebrate her 7th birthday. Again, like, I don't I don't know, because she would be like, again, like a year old. Actually, no, exactly a year old. This is her birthday. September 28th is her birthday. Oh no. Okay, so there's two Margaret Schultz in Washington during this time. Also, during this time, she wasn't living in Washington. She was living in Oregon. And her parents are farmers, so yeah, okay. No, this is a different Margaret Schultz. Okay, just gotta keep that in mind. There's a good possibility that this is the wrong person. Yeah, the Mrs. Helen and Margaret Schultz returned to Vancouver Sunday after a week's vacation. Yeah. No, yeah, okay, this is a different Margaret Schultz. Okay, hold on, what's this one? Okay, Woodland. Woodland honor roll announced. Okay, this is her. Superintendent of Woodland Schools has announced the following honor roll for the first 6 weeks of the first semester. First grade, second grade, third grade, Margaret Schultz. Third grade, yeah, that makes sense. 8 years old. She'd be 8. So this is her. All right, we got our first newspaper article with her. And this is December of that year. I think now we're going to start seeing her in things. Okay, this is the same thing. Oh no, the following kids were on a roll for the second 6 weeks of school. So she kept it up. She kept it up. She was smart. I mean, she did go on to be a teacher. And here's third grade again for Woodland. Yep. Is this all going to be honor roll? Yeah, this is also honor roll. She was on honor roll. She was on a roll for honor roll. Yeah, fourth grade again on honor roll. Okay, let's. Oop, that's not what I meant to do. Oh, wait, did I not? Here we go. I accidentally clicked on something there. Okay. Woodland Group elects Mariner. A group of fifth graders gave a song and a play. Leslie Carson gave a trombone solo accompanied by Daisy Bennett. Margaret Schultz gave a recitation, and Lloyd Martin read a paper on the history of Thanksgiving. Okay, so she was performing, doing a little reading. And then what is this? Bride elect, surprised at shower. Brides to be. Okay, I know this isn't gonna be her because she's 10 or 9 at this point. That's the other Margaret Schultz. And then this is just the same article again. Miss Margaret Schultz at the Kodak. Okay, yeah, no, not our Margaret Schultz. Oh, honor roll? Yep, Woodland honor roll again. How much do we want to bet that she's going to get honor roll at... for 6th grade? But I don't know when she moves. Because, hold on, because her yearbook... this is her yearbook... 1938, so she's back in... By 1938, she's back in Oregon. Okay. Let me just try... Okay, nothing. That's what I thought. Okay, Margaret Schultz. So let's now change it to 1931 to 40. Okay, only 4 this time. Wow, okay. Let's see if it's the right Margaret. Members of the church choir at St. James Church gather at the home of Miss B. Bryan Friday evening. Games and magic stunts provide the evening's entertainment. Miss Bryan's guests included Miss Grant wins. No, okay. That one, okay, this one, she'd be, no, I don't think this is her, because she'd be 11, not even. She'd be 10. So I don't think that's her. I think that's the other Margaret Schultz. Let's see. Farrell is given to Margaret Hancock. The affair... those competing Miss Hancock, or complimenting Miss Hancock, were... Yeah, okay. This is, again, I think the other Margaret Schultz. Okay, Woodland. Okay, here we go. This is our Margaret. A surprise shower for Mr. and Mrs. Al Shiwei? It looks German, but I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it. Who were married recently, was given at the Presbyterian Church Tuesday evening. With about 90 friends and relatives present, a short program was followed by the showing of the large number of presents given to the couple and by the serving of refreshments in the basement. The program included a trumpet solo by Raymond Schwerby, a piano and violin duet by Lowena Heald and Tom Heald, a piano duet by Margaret Schultz and Lucille Scholl. Okay, so she was playing piano there. Let's see this person. Is this specifically from Woodland? No. Okay, this one doesn't say, but I think because it's Bridge. Yeah. Again, I don't think this is her. That's crazy that it stops at 1932. Yeah, because... Where is Pierce County? Oh, that's the Tacoma one. We know that's a different... That's not the right one. And Spokane is... Oh, wait. Wait, hold on. Where was Tacoma? Hold on. No, I'm getting mixed up. Hold on. Where was Tacoma again? Oh, yeah, no. Tacoma's closer to Seattle. So, no, that's not where... That is... So, yeah. So, these would not be her. Okay. Let's try Oregon during this time, because she would have moved during this time. Albany, Oregon, Portland, Oregon. She could be in the Portland ones. Because 1933 is when it changes. Following dinner was served the following Mrs. Margaret Shaw. Okay, so that's not. That is not her. Okay, Portland. This could be her. Swimmers will splash tonight. Oh, wait, what is this? 100-yard breaststroke. Women. Dorothy Lockmund, Margaret Schultz, Leora Piper, Virginia Schenefelt, and Eileen Darby, all Multnomah. Where's Multnomah? Okay. That could be her. Oh, yeah, because Beaverton is where she was going to school, and that's right next to Portland. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that could be her. So the Albany ones... Where's Albany, Oregon? Just to, like... Way down there. Okay, yeah. Not the... Yeah, not where we want. Okay. But then this other one from Portland, 1937. Grant High School alumni seeks winter sports title. Wait a second. Wait. Is this her? Brown-eyed lass, 37th to enter contest for Queen's Crown. 36 names enter the race for Queen of the annual Winter Sports Carnival at Mount Hood. Each impressed with their loveliness. But still, another candidate has appeared who takes a backseat to none when it comes to charm and beauty. Candidate number 37 is Margaret Schultz, Grant High graduate. And I've proven a beauty in former conquests. Margaret is 19 years of age. Okay, no, wait, this isn't her. This is a different one. Because she works at the Lamping & Co. and attends University of Oregon Extension School at night. No, this isn't... Yeah, this isn't her. Yeah, this isn't her. This is a different Margaret Schultz. Because it says she's 19 in 1937, which isn't right. So this isn't her, which also means I think that this one who is the swimming one isn't her either. Because it says that the other person liked swimming. I think this is also going to be this other one. Oh, wait, what is this? Upper left, the Journal Juniors band lead the invasion of the grounds as children parade from the special train. Upper right, lower left, Ruby Cinnabel, Louis Ann Shelby, Margaret Schultz, and Gene Sherman, band members, try out the main promenade. Okay, wait. Okay, this could be that. This could be her. Children's Day at State Fair. Does it say where they're from? So that, okay, so one of them could be, hold on. Porch Honor, Orchestra, Band. Okay, yeah, so she isn't, okay, yeah, no, that has to be, yeah, because she's in band. And again, it's... Sorry, I'm just checking real quick. Wait. Oh, wait, no, wait, is this... Wait, hold on, is this her? Did they get the thing wrong? Hold on. Yeah, no, wait, no, this isn't right. Because I don't think that's Melvin. I think, yeah, I think they got the... Okay, wait, so hold on. So, yeah, so that's not her. Sorry, so Schultz is 1, 2, 3. This is Schultz. Okay, that looks more like her. Because I was looking at the, like, that looks way more like the person in the photo that I have. Because I was looking at that and it's like, well, it's kind of hard to tell. I'm not 100% sure. No, this is her. They just got the thing here was like messed up. I just trusted it, which I shouldn't have done in the first place. No, this is her. Because this is the list of like who's who in it. Schultz is this one, and that looks so much more like her. That looks so much more like the person in the photo. Okay. That makes way more sense. Oh, I'm so glad I figured that out. Goes to show, you can't just trust everything the computer says. Okay, so knowing that looks like her. Yeah. I think that's her. I mean, if the names are right in terms of like how they listed them here, if it is left to right, that would be her, and that looks like her, I think, the most. Compared to these other ones. So yeah, that's her. Okay. So, let's look at this one. Let's look at this one. Toller Equinist. Miss Alice Enquist, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. C.H. Enquist, became the bride of Mr. Edward Toller, son of Mr. and Mrs. J. Toller of Beaverton. Okay. Officiated Mrs. R.G. Berg sang, and Miss Margaret Schultz was as accompanist. She was playing piano. Reception was followed, at which the bride's aunt, Port assisting, were the Mrs. Margaret Schultz. Okay, yeah, so this is her. Okay, June 1938. What's this other one here? What is this? Monmouth Choir from college giving Oregon College of Education, Monmouth. Members of the orchestra. Oh, yeah, we do know that she... Yeah, she... And clarinets. Okay. Margaret Schultz, Beaverton. That's her. Okay, so she was also playing in the orchestra while in college. So she went to... Yeah, University of Oregon. Oh, no, sorry. This was made possible by University of Oregon. Oh, yeah. This is at the Oregon College of Education, Monmouth. Okay. So that's where she went to college. Is this the same thing? This looks like the same article. Yeah. Okay, so she played clarinet. Okay, this is... Assistants were... Miss Margaret Schultz served the bride's cake. Mrs. Carl J. Imper. Who was Mrs. Miss Lillian Berg. Lillian Berg was the... Yeah, that we saw that name. Oh, no, that's a different one. That's for the photo. This other one is Russ Schultz, the marriage of Miss Sarah Schultz, daughter of Miss Caroline Schultz of Portland. So that's probably a cousin, because Margaret was an only child. Okay, and I think, yeah, I think we're at a point where we don't need to look in Washington anymore, because she's moved. I think it's clear that by 1933, she's moved to Oregon. And didn't she die in Oregon, too? Yeah, Hillsboro. She was born in Hillsboro and died in Hillsboro. And then in the 1950 census, she was also in... Well, actually, no, we don't exactly know. We just know she was in Oregon, in Washington County. So I'm just going to assume it was the same area. So now, let's change it to 1941. Whoops. To 1950. Now let's see. Okay, here we go, 1941. And that looks like her full name. Margaret Elizabeth Schultz, Beaverton. What is this? Okay, oh, this is her graduating. 122 students to graduate from Oregon College of Education. Okay. So that's where, yeah, before she became a teacher. And unfortunately, we only know that she was a teacher in 1950. We don't know how long she was a teacher. Is this the same list? Yeah. Okay, yeah, this is just the same list of her getting her degree so that she could be a teacher. What about this one? Spring term honor students. Oh, honor roll. Look at that. Even in college, she was getting honor roll. Again, showing just how smart she was. Okay. And then... Let's see. This one is engaged in a church. It was at the reception. Okay, so she was in a reception at a wedding. But God, that's so hard to... I'm actually impressed that the computer transcription thing was able to actually read it. That's not Portland. What's that? This one? Cobble and Schultz. William Coble 40. Oh, Margaret. Okay, no, this is a different Margaret Schultz. Okay, March 1945. Vancouver licenses. Raymond Schultz. Okay, no, she's not 19. And not from Boise, Idaho. This is a different Margaret Schultz. Arts House. Miss Sarah Schultz. Bride wore dress. Florence Schultz was her niece's only attendant. Male Rust. Okay, yeah, this is a similar situation. And this one from 19... Okay, hold on. What if we change it? Okay, now I think we have to change it to Margaret Rake. Whoa, wait a second. What is this? Hold on. Percy E. Rake, Margaret versus Margaret E. Rake. Divorce complaint alleges desertion. What? Hold up. This is 1943. Were they married and then they got divorced and then they got married again? Because in 1950, they're... In 1950, they're living together. And Ella is living... Her mother is living with them. Yeah, 29. Hold on. We found that thing that talked about their marriage, right? Yeah, this says that their marriage was... ...1946. Hold on. Well, what's this one? Hold on. More couples applied. 9 more couples applied for a marriage license. Oh wait, hold on. This is also from Vancouver, Washington. Where is it? Margaret E. Schultz. Percy E. Rake, 33. And Margaret E. Schultz. So did they divorce? Were they married before and then they got divorced again? Hold on. I just realized I forgot to look at the family search thing here because this is normally pretty good at having marriages. Okay, this is... Yeah, Clark County. Percy E. Rake, San Diego, California. Margaret E. Schultz, Vancouver, Washington, 25. Yeah, this is occupation school teacher. Albert, yeah, Ella, yep. Resident, 6 months, San Diego. Meat cutter. Huh. Two prior marriages before this. Is hers... This is saying none. That's weird. Yeah. I don't know why they have the marriage record like 5 different times. Just different types of things. Hold on. Okay, this is... Because this is in Salem. Hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. This one looks like it has more info. Court news. Complaint for divorce by Percy E. versus Margaret E. Rake alleges desertion. They were married at Sinson, Washington, November 18th, 1939. So they got married, and then they divorced, and then they got married again? And then this is April 1st, 1944, a year later. Percy E. Rake versus Margaret... Oh, that says Margaret K. Rake. Defendant held in default. Application made for place on trial docket. Okay, October 7th. Okay, what does this say? Hold on. Serviceman. Hold on. Okay. Private Percy Rake, former manager of the M&T Grocery on South Commercial Street, is stationed somewhere in the Pacific. His wife, Margaret Rake, is teaching at Vancouver, Washington, and living with her parents at Beaverton. Rake was stationed at Camp Adair, and with a unit went overseas sometime in May of this year. Okay, so he did serve overseas. But... Okay, but this still says that they're married. Okay, February 1945. Estate probated. Okay, no, this is not... That's a different person. Okay, February 5th, 1946. Percy E. Rake versus Margaret K. Rake. Decree of divorce to plaintiff. So this is February. When was the... 4th of March. Did they get married again? Did they get married again? Hold on, okay. I keep saying Margaret K. Rake. Hold on. Oh, no, that's not what I meant to... This one... Schultz. Albert Church of Beaverton. Okay, this is... Oh, this is when... Okay, this is when her father died. This is when Albert passed away. May 15th, age 62 years. Husband of Ella T. Father of Margaret E. Rake, Beaverton. Brother of Arthur Schultz, Portland, Route 5. Survived by mother. Services Monday, May 19th. Okay, yes, but this jumps to 1947. Okay, this is all the same. This is all the same article. Okay, December 14th, 1947. Miss Margaret Rake, wearing a peach satin dress, was matron of honor. I want to check something else actually real quick. Hold on. Something I just thought about. If we go, what if we go to his? Because he says he was married twice beforehand. Washington County marriages. Oh my god, it's a different Margaret. That's why it's so... Okay, that's what's going on here. It's a different Margaret. He was married to two different Margarets. That's what... Okay, so all of these ones about them getting a divorce... Even though this one says is teaching in Vancouver, Washington, and living with her parents in Beaverton. Because I did see like K a few times. Like it was happening more than once. Where I was like, okay, wait, that's more than likely not a mistake. So then, yeah, so in the 1940 census, okay, wait, Army enlistment record, discharge, and then he's on, yeah, he's on this one for our Margaret. I guess he had a type. But then, okay. The only thing, though, is that, because this one specifically says that, okay, this is 1944, and it specifically says Margaret Rake teaching in Vancouver, Washington, living with her parents at Beaverton. I think this is... That's actually not... That is our Margaret, but he's still not fully divorced yet, because the divorce doesn't go through... 1943. Here's when it starts. And it doesn't go through fully. Yeah, Margaret K. Decree of divorce to plaintiff. So is he claiming desertion on her? But this also said, but wait, this says Margaret E. Rake from 1943. Stevenson, Washington, November 18th, 1939. Catherine F. Brown. Okay, 1935. 1939. Yeah. Yeah, this is right. Yeah, November 18th, 1939. Margaret K. Travis. Maybe, because then it goes back to Margaret K. for this one. Defendant held in default. Hold on. I'm not super caught up on my court terminology. Okay, so default means failed to... So she never showed up to court. Defendant held in default. Because she's the defendant in this case, right? Yeah, so he's claiming desertion on her. So yeah, so I think what happened is that for this first one, they just got it mixed up with the Margaret E. I think it's just a typo coincidence. And then yeah, so he's living with the other Margaret. They get confused and like because it's October 1944. And then they weren't able to get it until February of 1946, and then less than a month later, he marries to the other Margaret. God, that's confusing. That's so confusing that we have two Margarets. So now that the two Margarets... We got that mystery figured out. We don't have a thing for their, like, own... For their own wedding. Except for maybe if we change it to Washington? Yeah, Margaret Travis Rake. Well, if you change it to Margaret, back to Margaret, Margaret Schultz. Okay, none of the Tacoma ones. $1949, 1950. Okay, no, so it's not any of those. Yeah, there's a weird gap between 1943 and 1948. Just hold on, wait, because this one... 9 couples. That's weird that she doesn't show up in that one. Yeah, because this is... Is it because it's Margaret E? Hold on, if I do Margaret E... I am looking at that right? Yeah, March 5th, 1946. Vancouver, Washington. What if I look up Percy Rake? Huh. Why does that one not come up? Oh, because it's split? Maybe? I don't know. That's weird. Okay, so now we... So Margaret Rake is now who we're going to be looking for. And let's see what she had going on in the 50s. Okay, it's not Miss Margaret Rake. Rake. So let's see what's going on in We're in Oregon. Okay, no, not that one. Okay, hold on. This one from 1957. Rake. Elmore Everett. Ed Wheeler, father of Rebel Anderson, Edna Sutherland, Percy E., and Everett E. Rake. Brother of Eva Carter, Margaret Rake. Clyde Rake. Okay, this is a different... Okay, that's a different Margaret Rake. That's the same thing. That's the same thing. What about this one? What is this a list of? Other blues. Easy Meals A, Easy Meals B, Easy Meals C. It's not really entirely clear what that is. These are all Salem. They're not exactly where we want. Blue Awards. Yamhill County. Oh, 4-H. Okay, I know this isn't her. Okay, let's look up Percy Rake, because a lot of times she would probably be listed under Percy Rake. Yeah, she'd be listed as under Miss Percy Rake during this time. Yeah. Brief bits from around town. Guest at the Hotel Albany last night. Percy Rake Beaverton. Okay, that's actually him. Beaverton. Okay, yeah, so they are still living in Beaverton during this time. What about this one? Is this an ad he put out? Handyman Special. $500. Large 2-bedroom, bath, dining room, double attached garage, 3 view lots. Finished inside. You finish out and make $1,000. Asking $6,850. I don't... Maybe? This could be him? It's a little hard exactly to tell. Yeah, but this one, though, this one says Mrs. Percy Rake Beaverton, and this for sure. Is this for somebody getting married? Miss Ava Carter and daughter Alice had a potluck picnic dinner Sunday for her brother. Mr. and Mrs. Clyde Rake. Mr. and Mrs. Percy Rake of Beaverton. Okay. Let's see. What about this? Elizabeth Edna at Wheeler. Wife of Elmer, mother of Rita. Rita Anderson, Portland. Edna Sutherland, Mencia, or Oregon. Peter Rake, Beaver. Okay, this is his mother passing away. Right, okay, so that's all that is. Let's then change it to 61 to 70. Ooh, nothing. But a decent number here. Again, Salem. I think the Salem ones are not her. But this one, the Portland ones, yeah, 4-H vegetable judging was won by a team of, okay, no, that's not her. 4-H leaders. Yeah, okay. So it's not her. That's a different one. Yeah, all the Salem ones are definitely not her. Story is definitely not her. I think they're mostly the 4-H thing. Yeah, these are all from around the same... September 4th, September 4th, September 14th. We're judging a... Yeah, this is all... This is all 4-H stuff. Okay. This is all 4-H stuff. What is the Washington ones? All right, P Rake. What's this one? Judge Fred Staples. Where's this at? Tri-City Herald. Oh yeah, hold on, I didn't see exactly where. Oh, Pasco. Yeah, no, that's not. Yeah, Franklin. Yeah, okay, that's not the same area. Okay, so let's go another decade forward. 71 to 80. July 30th, 1980. Stanhope and Rake. Lena Diane Rake Pendleton became the bride of Stanley E. Stanhope, Pilot Rock, at an afternoon ceremony, June 28th, in the Bethel Congregational Church in Beaverton. The bride is the daughter of Margaret Rake and the late Percy Rake. Beaverton, Stone's parents are... Okay. Dropped by where that. She wore her mother's locket with her parents' wedding picture inside. Oh, that's cute. Okay, so he's not around by this point. So they did have a daughter. So they probably... Okay, she just wasn't born yet by the 1950 census. Well, yeah, and if he's... Hold on. There has to be more then. Okay, here we go. 1976. Because these are... Funeral notices break. Everett Elmer. Okay, that's one of his brothers who passed away. About... what about this one? Is this anything with him? 6 people, including 4 incumbents, are running the 5 Wolf Creek Highway Water District. Martin Johnson and Percy Rake. Washington County balloting. Okay, that actually could be him. Oh yeah, I think this confirms that it is him. Hold on. Yeah, Percy E. Rake Beaverton. Wait. Oh. Hold on. I felt like I was going to sneeze, and I didn't. I muted myself because I thought I was going to sneeze, but I'm not. Dang it. Oh, that sucks. I can kind of feel it in my nose. And it's just sitting there. Yeah, Water District. Okay, yeah, so that is him. But then he dies about less than a year later. Yeah, Percy E. Rake, Beaverton, husband of Margaret, father of Leanne Rake. Or Lena? Brother of, yeah, Retta and Edna Sullivan. Services 3 p.m. Futon Mortuary Chapel, Beaverton. Private family interment. Furlong Cemetery. Friends who wish contributions to cancer fund requested. So maybe he passed away from cancer. If that's why they're having them donate. Hold on, wait, can we find his... Do we have his death index? It's just the index. That's not the... Not this. Actually, hold on, wait, yeah, where is his grave? Furlong Memorial Park, because she's not buried there, right? No, oh wait, no, she is. Oh, he is listed here. Why did I not see that? Okay. Okay, then. Let's see. Okay, so that's that. Let's try then 81 to 90. Wait, why did it not change? 81 to 90. Nothing. Let's try Margaret. Nothing. Okay, let's try Washington. Uh, nope, that is not. That is not that. Okay, so 91 to 2000. Nothing. Let's try Oregon. Oh, okay. Okay, hold on. 1992. Clinton organizers. Oh, she was working with the... Okay, Lee and local Clinton Gore supporter Margaret Rake. So the campaign will soon provide bilingual literature to some members of the Chinese American community. May form a phone bank to reach friends before November 3rd. Okay. She's working for the Chinese... Okay, no, okay, so she's working with, like the Chinese American group. Huh. Okay. And then this one, 1994. Funeral notices. Whoa! Wait! Ella was still alive? Her mother was still alive. I had no idea. That's crazy. Wow, I thought she was... I mean, she just kind of stopped showing up, so I thought, like, oh, okay, she's just not around anymore, but... Because I thought, wow, okay. Wow, 99. 99 years old, wow. Is this also a thing? Ella Schultz. Okay, yeah, this is a thing more about her. Memorial service will be at 3 p.m. July 20th, 1994 at Brown Lewy Bass Funeral Home in Hillsboro. Mrs. Schultz was born January 23rd, 1895 in Oakland, California. She died July 16th of causes related to age. She was 99. She attended business college in Oakland before moving to Portland area more than 70 years ago. Mrs. Schultz's maiden name was Toller. She married Albert on September 20th, 1918. He died in the late 1940s. The Beaverton resident worked as a seamstress in the Nicholas Ungar dress shop for 15 years following her husband's death. Survivors include her daughter, Margaret Rake of Beaverton, brother, Ernest Toller of Portland, one granddaughter, and two great-grandchildren. Private interment, Fir Lawn Cemetery. Wow, yeah, I had no idea she was even still around. That's crazy. Okay, so now let's... 2001 to 2000... Oh, wait, no. Oh, we didn't do... Okay, no, wait, there's nothing in Washington for this time period. Did we do Percy already for both of these? Yeah, we did. Okay. Well, let's just... So 2000... Let's change to 2001 to 2004. What about Washington? Nope. Okay, so... Let's try Margaret. Okay. Oregon. Okay, survivors include their nieces. Okay, so this is a relative who passed away. Wow, this thing was in the newspaper a lot. Okay, here we go. Wow, she was in the... Jesus, why was she in the paper so much? Oh, is there like an ad? They put an ad in, that's why. I was like, dang, that's crazy that they put that in there so much. But okay, so let's read this one. This is her obituary. Margaret Rake. Memorial service will be at 3 p.m. Thursday, April 24th, 2003, in Furlong Mortuary in Hillsborough for Margaret Rake, who died April 18th at age 82. Margaret Schultz, born September 28th, 1920, in Hillsborough. She graduated from Beaverton High School and Oregon College of Education. She taught in 7 elementary schools, including C.E. Mason and Oak Hills in the Beaverton School District. In 1946, she married Percy. He died in 1976. Survivors include her daughter, Leonie Stanhope, and 2 grandchildren. Remembrances to American Cancer Society. Okay. What is this one? Margaret Rake. Okay, so this is that ad. Just a quick one. Which is this one. And is this... Are these all the same? They look all the same. Yeah, it's all the same. All the same. And they make it seem like so much, but it's literally just the same ad. Over and over and over again. Okay. And I think the rest of the... Okay, wait, there's this one. Is this just a list of people who... Oh, yeah. Obituary index. Yeah, it's just the same. Just listing from the same newspaper, just listing all the people. And that's the same... Yeah, that's the same article again. And these are all the same... Okay. It made it seem like there was going to be a lot more. It made it seem like there was going to be a lot more. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything else? Can we find Percy's... Hold on. Can we find Percy's... Hold on. So we have their marriage thing here. Okay, yeah. Open a link here for Percy. Can we find... his World... Okay, yeah, we have his World War II. Here we go. Okay, his World War II draft card. On Alaska, Lewis County, Washington. 28 years, birthplace, Monmouth, Oregon. The person who knew it, Miss Margaret Kilburn Rake. That's his wife at the time. Let's see, characteristics. Black hair, blue eyes, 5'8", 130 pounds, dark complexion, no physical markings or characteristics. Okay. Hold on. I'll put this... move this over. I'm just organizing my tabs real quick. Okay. So then... Okay, but I did see state divorces right here. Oh, this is for his first wife. You know, husband, Washington, who was plaintiff, wife. Catherine Brown Rake. Identified Boardman, November 26, 1935. Was case contested? No. Cause of which divorce? Desertion. So the wife was the plaintiff in this case, calling for divorce, saying that he deserted her. Oh, and he had another child. Whoa. He had a whole other child. Hold on, okay. But yeah, that's for his first wife. Where? Hold on, if we actually like go to this page, are we gonna get more stuff with his other divorces, maybe? Washington marriage records, Department of Veteran Affairs, marriage index, obituary index. Which marriage is this? Oh, okay, this is for his first marriage. She was 26. Single. Okay. She was also a teacher. Yeah. Okay. So wow, he had another child. But no mention of it at all in any of the other records we found. Dang. That is crazy. All right. So, let's see. I don't think there's really... We found this one all pretty easily, I feel like. I mean, except for the beginning. It took a little bit to figure out, exactly who she was and where... who exactly she was in this photo, but we actually found everything. Yeah, I think we've kind of covered everything. I don't think there's really... Yeah, I don't think there's really much else. I can't think of anything else. We kind of figured out his divorce situation. Well, for the first one too, I didn't even think about that. So yeah, so he was divorced by his first wife for desertion, and then he divorced his second wife for desertion. Crazy turn of events. But I think, yeah, this is pretty good. So this is honestly one of the later later like people we've researched in a while, because like she was alive, until like 2003, which I don't think we've had somebody live until the 21st century for a while. Most of the time it's like 19, like late. I think before that for a while, like the latest we had was like the late 90s. But I guess, hey, if you're born in 1920, I mean, hey, there was a possibility she could have been alive. I mean, her mother lived to be 99. There was a possibility she could have been alive just, a few years ago. But it looked like it was a pretty, pretty good, fulfilling life. Nothing really crazy that we could find. No crazy events or anything like that. Unfortunately, it seems like she did lose her father at a kind of a younger age. But nothing crazy with her. Percy, on the other hand, the whole divorce thing was a little weird. It seems like she was also living with him while they were separated but not officially divorced, and because they couldn't get married until like they got married like a month after. Which is maybe why they don't have like a big newspaper article talking about it. Because I think if they had a big newspaper article like talking about it, that would have drawn attention to the fact that he was recently divorced. Because they got married. Yeah, this is Margaret Schultz. They got married in March 4th, 1946. And his divorce went through February 5th, so like a month later. A month later, he got married again. So yeah, so that's probably why they don't have a big thing in the newspaper article that they got married, because it would have been maybe a little scandalous, maybe? I mean, it's the 40s. Divorce isn't super common, and he was divorced twice. Yeah. Wow. All right. So yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and call it here. What a crazy stream we had today. Or I would say more chill than like crazy. I think I just said crazy because I'm used to saying that, because we have found some pretty crazy stuff the past few ones, but this one was more chill. I was just more excited the fact that we actually found her, because for a second I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to. But because she was living in Woodland, Washington around this time, we were able to 100%, I think, figure out that it was her. And the fact that this photo looks like her, like you can tell she looks similar to her high school photo, her high school yearbook photo. But yeah, and that's gonna be into this one. And I mean, nothing's gonna be gonna compare to the fact that we hold on. Nothing's gonna compare to the fact that I found this. The same photograph that somebody's trying to sell for $400 on eBay. And I just found this for $2.50 at an antique store in in California. All right. But yeah, so and then so that's gonna do it for today. But I know I normally stream only on Wednesdays and Sundays, but there is a possibility I'll be doing a gorilla stream this weekend. On possibly Saturday or Friday. Probably Saturday, if I had to guess. We'll be playing kind of like the last bit of 2 Point Museum with the new DLC, just kind of finishing out and making our zoo pretty and organized. But then on Sunday, we're going to be starting a big project. And that's going to be, hold on, let me pull it up here. That's going to be this. So everything else we've done before is going to be basically, it has all been basically individual people and photos. But this is going to be my first ever group photo that we're going to try and find people. And what's nice about this one is that the name of every single person in this photo is on the back. Now, the hardest thing is going to be kind of like what we did today, is trying to figure out where exactly these people are. We do have a little bit of a clue at the bottom there that somebody who owned this was from Pennsylvania, but that doesn't mean that necessarily this photo was taken in Pennsylvania. It could have been taken anywhere. But I did notice, looking at the names on the back, that there are a notable number of siblings. So I think if we can find at least some of these siblings, that we can maybe find everybody else. Because I think because this is a birthday party from 1888, that they're all going to be living within the same vicinity of each other. But yeah. So again, that's going to do it for today, folks. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you're new here, I'm not a professor, but you can call me Nap. I normally stream every Sunday and Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But if you want to know when I go live next for maybe one of my gorilla streams, like I said, I might be streaming Sunday or Friday. Make sure you go ahead and check one of the follow so you know when I go live next. I also have my Twitter and a YouTube channel linked below. And on my YouTube channel, I do upload shorts on some of the stuff that we find on these streams. And I'm going to be uploading a short probably this weekend. So go ahead and subscribe so that way you can check that out when that drops. And yeah, so that's going to be the end of tonight, folks. Hope you had a great time. I hope you have a great rest of your evening or day wherever you are. And I'll see you guys this weekend. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.